is going on, good people of YouTube? It is me, Chavez. I am back with another MLB player prop video for you. Today's Saturday, June 24th, 2023. As always, I hope this video finds you all doing well and in good spirits. You can see the plan of action right there on the screen. This is what we're going to be covering in today's video. Recapping yesterday's plays, I'll even show you a couple of six-pick flex or flex entries on Underdog and Prizepicks that I had in and made a little bit of money yesterday. We'll dive into our Thrive Fantasy partnership, and I'll just quickly update you on the partnership with DG Fantasy and what's in it for you. And then we'll spend the rest of the video going over a few plays on Prizepicks. I got one play for you over on Underdog. So if all that sounds good to you, if that plan looks good to you, then I encourage you to stick around, drop a like, sub up, and click that notification icon to get notified of all upcoming content and videos from me and my channel. And without further delay, let's jump into those plays from yesterday. All right, so yesterday's plays got kind of got jumbled, not jumbled up. Yesterday's plays got muddied up a little bit. Towards the end of the video, we were on Logan Webb, and we saw that his line bumped from 5 strikeouts to 5.5, and I said, I'm staying away, and good thing we did because he pushed. So the original line of 5 strikeouts would have given us a push. The updated line of 5.5 strikeouts would have resulted in you losing that prop had you taken the over, because he finished with exactly 5. So towards the end of that video, I also said I would just move over and take Zach Davies' strikeouts. This dude didn't even give us 3 strikeouts. Couldn't even give us a push. Finished the game with 2 strikeouts. Got absolutely rocked in that game, and so that one was a loss. But let's talk about 2 plays that did work for us without any sweat, without any controversy. Took the over 1.5 total bases for Bo Bichette, and he looks like he is continuing that momentum that he found, that rhythm that he found on the road trip. And we talked a little bit about his home numbers versus his away numbers, and looks good so far. First game back in Toronto, he finished with two total bases yesterday, so gave us the over on that one. And then over on Underdog, we took the over 2 total bases for Mike Trout. He hits a home run, so clears that. He would have cleared any fantasy score, or excuse me, any player prop that you would have played for him. We talked about the benefits of playing in Coors Field, and it was just a really good spot for Mike Trout. So overall on the day, 2 wins, 1 push, and 1 loss. We look to just continue that momentum. Before we get into our partnerships, let's take a look at a couple of flex entries that I put in over on Prizepicks and Underdog, and then we'll get on with the rest of the video. Okay, so over on Prizepicks, I ran one flex entry yesterday for the protected flex, and this was my 6-pick flex entry that I used, that I built using the DFS optimizer. We missed out on a clean sweep here due to 2 League of Legends plays 2 esport plays not working out for us. So Summit over his 2.5 Ks didn't come through. He hooked it, and then we had Hap. What's the Hap on the craps? Took the over maps 1 and 2 headshots. He finished with 14. So we had 2 hooks that really cost us a very strong day yesterday. However, because this is protected, we made a little profit from this, and then we'll get the remaining amount up to $20 in promo funds. So not a bad slip overall. Obviously, I would have liked to have this go 5 of 6 or 6 of 6, but profit is profit. Let me quickly show you an Underdog. Actually, we'll save the Underdog slip for when we talk about our Underdog play today, so that way we're not bouncing back and forth. So all right, with all that being said, let's talk quickly about our partnership with Thrive Fantasy and DG Fantasy. All right, so if you're new to the channel, welcome and thank you for joining us. A lot of partnerships lately, and it's a great sign. Growth is happening on my channel, and I'm very happy, very proud of that. So let's talk about one of the partnerships that we have going right now with Thrive Fantasy. Here's what you need to know. 100% deposit match up to $250 for all new users, just for using promo code Chavez. Take advantage of that. Make sure your first deposit is $25 or more. Very few sites are giving you this amount, matching this amount up to $250. You're going to see $100 across the board from a lot of these other sites, but $250 is quite a bit of money. So you got that perk going for you. You will also enjoy a friendlier payout structure on Thrive. So more money for you when your slips hit. And in addition to that, you'll be given a free square for using promo code Chavez, for signing up, depositing $25 or more. Use that free square to build your bankroll. Pair it up with one other play, damn near guaranteed 3.2x your entry amount, or go for the big payout, that 20.2x by getting 5 of 5 in your slips right. But no matter how you do it, make sure you do it using promo code Chavez so that you can enjoy all the good things, all the perks, only over on Thrive Fantasy. All right, just a quick note on our partnership with DG Fantasy, the newest partner of the channel. So we've been using the optimizer a lot over the last few days, and kind of giving you tutorials and showing you how to use it and find that value, and it's been working in our favor more times than not. So the big announcement was made a few days ago on the channel partnership with DG Fantasy. However, here's what's in it for you. So a couple different options when you head on over to DG Fantasy. My affiliate link will be in the description of this video. So get $5 off any one of your subscription plans over on DG Fantasy. You can sign up for a week. You can sign up for a month. I love the fact that they'll give you a 3-day free trial to test it out. Within that 3 days, you'll know whether or not you want to continue that service. But all that information in the description below. Leave me a comment should you have any questions about that. So with that being said, let's now transition over to the Prizepicks board, and we'll talk about 2 player props that I like, and then we'll head on over to the underdog board and talk about 1 player prop that I like as well. All right, here we are over on the Prizepicks dashboard. These are the 2 plays we're talking about in today's video. As I always say, if you got what you want, then I wish you the best of luck. However, if you want to stick around and listen to me break these plays down, then that's what we're about to do. So we're going to start with Bo Bichette. If it's not broke, don't fix it, right? I mean, Bo Bichette looks to be continuing that momentum that he sustained, that rhythm that he found on the road. First game back in Toronto yesterday gives us 2 total bases. We're going right back to Bo Bichette today. 1.5 total bases. Now, if you watched the video yesterday, I'm going to use a lot of the same notes, to be honest with you, because it applies to this play. However, there are a few differences because today he's facing a lefty versus a righty. So let's head on over to props.cash. Let's look at this a little closely together. All right, here we are over on props.cash. Let's take a look at Bo Bichette's last 5 games in total. So you see 4 away games, 4 road games, and 1 home game. 4 out of his last 5 games, he's gone over this line. Now, the biggest difference from yesterday to today is that he is facing a lefty in Hogan Harris. So his numbers versus lefties are actually, I don't want to say better than his numbers versus righties, because he's not hitting for as much power, but he is hitting for better average. Maybe due to the smaller sample size, only 56 plate appearances, but 3 home runs, 4 doubles versus left-handed pitchers, as well as 8 RBIs. So it's not as if he's not doing anything at the plate. He's just getting more exposure to right-handed pitching. Therefore, his numbers are going to be a little bit bigger. But overall, the numbers look really good for Bo Bichette versus Hogan Harris today. Looking to just capitalize on this momentum, on his rhythm. And like I said, like we always say, baseball is a game of streaks. It's a game of slumps, and it really truly is important to jump on these or jump off at the right time. So I think we're jumping on this at the right time with Bo Bichette. Let's take the over 1.5 total bases for Bo Bichette as our first player prop over on Prizepicks. All right, second player prop on the board. Let's talk about Dean Kramer, 5.5 pitcher strikeouts versus Seattle. I like the under on this one. Before you throw up in your mouth, let's head on over to props.cash and break this one down. All right, here we are over on props.cash. Why would I say before you throw up in your mouth, because Dean Kramer has on paper what looks to be a very, very friendly matchup versus the strikeout-ridden, the strikeout-prone Seattle Mariners, who are striking out at the second highest rate versus right-handed pitching this season, 25.6%. But there are a few things that I do want to point out to you. If you still feel the need to take the over, then by all means do it. By all means go with what you feel is best for you and your slips. But let's take a look at Dean Kramer over his last 5 games. And for some reason, props.cash has this set to 0.5. So if his pitching strikeout prop was at 0.5, we take the over on that. So over his last 5 games, Kramer has gone over this line in 3 of those 5 starts. Now, this game is being played in Baltimore, so this is a home game. If you know anything about Baltimore, you know Camden Yards is a very hitter-friendly ballpark. A little less hitter-friendly than it's been in the past because of the renovations. They've pushed that right field wall back a little bit, but still, shit gets done at Camden Yards. So looking at his numbers at home in Baltimore, we can see that he's only gone over this line 1 out of 6 times. So that's the first thing I wanted to bring to your attention. The second thing we talked about was the strikeout-prone Seattle Mariners. However, versus right-handed pitching over the last few starts versus right-handed pitching, we can see that out of these last 3 games, only 2 of these pitchers have gone over. Only 2 of these pitchers have gone over their strikeout prop. Aaron Savali was the only one to get 6. Chris Bassett goes under with 4. Zach Wheeler goes under with 4. If we look at overall, you have Bassett, Logan Allen, both go under their prop. Zach Wheeler goes under. So 3 out of the last 4 games in general, only 3 pitchers have gone over their prop. And then versus right-handed pitching like Bryce Miller, like Dean Kramer, I'm sorry, you can see that this Seattle team has only allowed 1 pitcher to hit their strikeout prop. So that is the second note I wanted to bring to your attention. So this, to me, isn't just like a slam dunk, wow, Kramer's facing Seattle, take the over. You got to dig into this a little bit. But if you still feel like there's not enough information for you to take the under on this prop, then stay away. But I do love that 0.5 that gives us that insurance. Like if this got bumped down to 5, again, I'd stay away from it, wouldn't touch it. I would just look elsewhere. But for now, we're taking the under 5.5 strikeout props for Dean Kramer as prop number 2. All right, over on Underdog, we're going to go over the first play, or we're going to go over our play first, and then I'll show you my flex entry that I submitted yesterday that it did pretty well. So JT Realmuto, our thumbnail for today. I like the over on his hitter fantasy score. This is a really good matchup for him versus Max Scherzer. Let's head on over to props.cash. I'll show you why. All right. In full transparency, there are a lot of Philadelphia Phillies that you could look to if you wanted to go with like batter versus pitcher historical data. Schwarber, Bryce Harper are both in good positions today. However, we're talking about JT Realmuto because that 6.5 is a little low for Underdog. Let's look at what he's done over his last 5 starts, last 5 games. So gone over his hits, runs, and RBIs in 2 of those games, giving you a total of 3. Now, in terms of just total hits, 2 hits in his last 5 games. And then in terms of strikeouts, he's averaging roughly 1 strikeout per game. Now, so why do I like this prop? Because those numbers probably don't give you a lot of confidence, but his matchup versus Max Scherzer in 66 plate appearances, Realmuto has 2 home runs, 3 RBIs, 1 double, and 4 singles. Yeah, his batting average is a bit low. However, we could take a look at what he's done versus righties on the season. 4 home runs, 2 triples, 13 doubles, 22 singles. I think we're witnessing a decline with Mad Max Scherzer. He just doesn't look like the dominant Scherzer, from past games, from past years. Yeah, I just don't see that same dude out there. And so on the season versus righties like Realmuto, 8 homers, 7 doubles, 19 singles. Those numbers that I just showed you, 8 homers, 7 doubles, 19 singles, 250 batting average versus right-handed batters. Over on Underdog, you don't need a whole lot to go over 6.5 fantasy points. I mean, that's really a double. and a run scored, and there you go. There's your 8 fantasy points right there, 7 fantasy points right there. So over an underdog, I like the over on 6.5 fantasy points for JT Realmuto. All right, let's get into that flex entry that I mentioned earlier over on underdog. Now this was a flex entry that I put in yesterday, went 4 for 5. Now this flex entry, much like the flex entry that I put in on Prizepicks, was built using the DGF optimizer. Let's take a look at this 5-pick entry that I put in on underdog. The only prop that missed was Summit. Over on his map 1Ks, he hooked it, and I played this on Prizepicks and he hooked it on both. So other than that one, 4 out of 5, and you can see right there the Mike Trout prop. It worked for me in this slip, and I wanted to also show you this because I do play the plays that I talk about in my video. Not all of them in the same lineup. When I give you props, they're not all meant to be put in the same lineup. You can do that if you want. I'm really just trying to give you the plays that I like the most, and from there you can construct your slips how you want. But I did include the Mike Trout prop in this lineup, and it worked out for me. So 4 out of 5, not bad. Good enough to win $25. Was very close to winning $100, but profit is profit, and we will take it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna do it for today's video. Drop me a comment below. Let me know what you like on the boards, as well as your thoughts on these props. If you want more props like this, if you want slips, you want to see what I'm actually doing, behind the scenes, not just on YouTube, head on over to the Player Prop Discord, 100% free to join. Now we do have a premium section that we're launching today. Now that is a paid section of the Discord, but if that's not your thing, no worries. There's tons and tons of free content in the Discord, so it's a win-win for you. But yeah, all that information is available to you in the description of this video. If you have any questions, leave me a comment below. As always, thank you all so much for all of your support and helping this channel grow and get bigger every single day. Best of luck to you all should you tell any of the damn plays that we talked about in today's video. And until tomorrow's player prop video, Chavez is out.